Hey guys, this video contains a spoiler for Heavensward, so if you don't care or you skip cutscenes, stop playing 14. Paladins are the White Knights of Final Fantasy XIV, like quite literally. Not because your guys' armors are bright and shiny and cool, nah, that's not why. It's because we can always depend on you guys when we need it most. Also, Paladin mains are virgins in real life. It's true, it says so in the lore. Source, it came to me in a vision. With skills named like Holy Spirit, Holy Circle, Holy Sheltron, your body just belongs to God now. But you know, that doesn't mean we love you any less. We still love you Paladin players. You guys are still cool. You guys just, you know, you just don't get anything, you know, in the bed. We can always count on you guys for great protection, you know, with skills like cover and all the shielding you guys got. And I've seen it. You guys are the real masters of protection because I've seen that level 50 armor set. It's the ultimate protection against sex. When I first got into 14, I was actually a Paladin main, but I swapped off eventually. Not because I'm no longer a virgin, that's still very much there, but after playing Heavensward, I just realized shields aren't that helpful. Now, warriors though? I took Latin once when I was in school, and there was a phrase that really describes warriors. Bigus of Dicus. I took Latin, I didn't say I passed. In case you didn't know, warrior is legit the most Giga Chad job of all time in 14. They are so strong, they don't even need a healer sometimes. They're literally healers themselves. See this? This bad boy can fit so much healing inside him, and if I play my cards right, that's not the only thing that's gonna be fitting inside him tonight. A job known for having such a big-ass axe, warriors come out swinging with their weapons, unlike the paladins who have a small dinky sword and shield for babies. And for that, warriors will forever be known as one of the most strongest, tankiest people out there. Can we give a big shout out to 14 for adding the first ever MMO LGBTQ plus job in existence? Dark Knights, because you literally have a dude living inside of you, Frey. So, if you enjoy having dudes inside you, Dark Knights are what you play when you're no longer a virgin moving off of Paladin. Your sword grows 10 times in size, and take that as you will. They got a really big sword, but you know what's bigger than that? Their depression. Dark Knights deal a lot of damage based on how depressed the player is. It's a real mechanic, believe me. So much damage, in fact, that they're the highest DPS when it comes to comparing openers among all the jobs. So I guess that big sword isn't just for compensation. But having big swords and weapons isn't always needed to look sexy. And you know what's sexy? Gunbreakers. It's a gun and a blade in one. You really gotta hand it to 14 for adding such an original weapon idea to the series. And all their job gear has sexy ass coats. The Endwalker gear is legit the hottest thing I've seen out of all the tanks. Even their ability names are so cool. You got Double Down, Blasting Zone, Eye Gouge, Gnashing Fang. She gnashed on my fang until I blast zone. Alright, that's a bad joke, I'm sorry. Gunbreaker will fill up your hotbar faster than a cat girl getting filled up at Balmaw Quicksands. This job will keep your hands busy, so if you're looking to speedrun stage 4 arthritis, this is it for you. And one of the coolest parts about playing a Gunbreaker in this game is that it was inspired by one of the coolest Final Fantasy characters of all time, Thancred! Moving off of the tanks, let's talk about healers. If you don't like being a busy person, then White Mage is for you. And I don't care what anyone says, they're the best healers in the game. You don't have to do so much work, and you just heal and go back to glaring or stoning. You know, stoning as in the stone ability, not getting high. I mean, I guess you can do that as a White Mage, but other jobs have so much responsibility, and I'm sorry, I thought we were supposed to all hate working, you know, coming home from a long day of work, tired, and just wanting to play a game to relax. Why do you want to be more busy? I've also given White Mages the nickname of Sleep Mage. And not because of the ability to make people fall asleep, no, because it's such an easy job to play, it lets you just pretty much turn off half your brain. Others may call that boring, and you know what? They're right, but I'll take being boring over being called a legit slaver. That's right, in Final Fantasy XIV, there's a job that promotes slavery. Scholars. You can even see it in the name. Slavery S. Scholars S. They just let their fairies do all the healing for them while they cast their DPS spells. Which, speaking of which, by the way, I think one of their spells, Broil 4, has one of the most satisfying sounds in the game. It's so crunchy sounding. Ugh. Now, even if you're a pro-slavery player, at least you can be one of two ways judged. The first way is if you're using Eos as your summon, then you're undoubtedly one of the most base people in the world. Blue coloring is just better, and even the name just sounds cool. Eos. But if you're a dirty Selene user, just know that what the heck is wrong with you? Selene is a boring name and yellow is a dumb color compared to blue. If you want a more laid-back time of healing, then Scholar and White Mage are both really good options. However, the last two have a bit more intensity to them. Astrologians, which I think that's how you say it. I don't even know. Correct me in the comments. I have no idea how you say this name. But have you guys ever had a friend that was so damn busy all the time, but you want to be around them? You're begging for their attention sometimes? That's these guys. They're always so damn busy with their cards, healing. It's just too much for me. You have to respect these players or else you won't get a single card for your buffs. Or if you piss them off enough, they just won't heal you and you'll die. This job demands so much attention from you that players have to be actively engaged when playing. Not me though, because I like to be single. Get it? Engage. If you want to stay on an Astro's good side, here's what you do. Always just compliment them as they're playing. Hey, you're healing so good there. Hey, I really like your outfit, and you'll never be wronged by them. They'll throw you heals, they'll throw you cards, just because you're being so kind to them. And if you end up complimenting them enough and they like you, and you guys go on a date, well, just remember who set you up. Yeah, your boy Kougaon, you're welcome. And for our last healer, we have the sexiest of the healers, Sage. Yeah, that's right, they're basically like the Gunbreakers of healers. They're both sexy and cool. Sage is for people who like Gundam, or they just want to do damage. Sage offer a fun way of dealing damage without being a DPS, so you can actually avoid all those DPS queues in your dailies. And just like their cool counterpart Gunbreaker, they have a lot of skills to keep you on your toes. Also, you gotta be a doctor to play Sage, because how the hell do you pronounce half these names? Dorocol, Curacol, Ixocol, Pepsi, Taracol, what are these names? Melee DPSs. Let's start with the most infamous one in Final Fantasy history, Dragoons. And can I just say, boo! We all know Dragoons are just fanboys of all the other Dragoons seen in other Final Fantasy games. Let me guess, your favorite character is Kain Highwind. How did I know? Wild guess. Oh, is it Astinian? Maybe Aranea, perhaps? Actually, if you're playing because of Aranea, then you know what? I can respect that. That's based. At its core though, this job was meant to be played by simps. And if you don't believe me that all Dragoon mains are just secretly simps, go look up the lodestone and see how many Dragoon mains have the last name of Highwind. Go ahead, I'll wait. The lore of Dragoons is like something about dragon knight jumping people who wanna, you know, bang dragons. I've played Heaven's Ward, I swear. At least you're a simp with good looking armor. I'll admit, their armor sets are really nice and I can't deny that. Dragoons can make some flashy plays, you know, doing a really cool elusive jump backflip away from something, or their skills have really cool animations. That is until you get animation locked into an AoE and die and looking like a fool. Let's trade in all those Dragoon lances for something more badass in my opinion. I'm talking knuckles, bare hands, we're talking about monks, baby! Insanity is how I would describe monk players because instead of using weapons, these guys are out here punching gods and big monsters with their hands. But monk players themselves are actually kind of insane. To play a monk, you actually have to be a monk in real life. You have to have that level of patience that real monks have. Otherwise, these players would snap and go crazy. The amount of changes these monks had to go through, go ahead, go ask a monk what it was like to be a monk in Shadowbringers, and they will tell you how much they hate life. But if you're not into monk, maybe you're into anime, and therefore, you're perfect as a ninja player. Ninjas are for the anime weebs, and it makes you go crazy playing it. I mean, look at Arthur's. The man literally became Naruto, or whatever character that was from Naruto. This is just a job that you want to play when you want to run around and jump like a ninja weeb. These players have seen all seasons of Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, Naruto, whatever. They've seen it all. If you're ever curious on how well your internet is, you can always just play Ninja. That will tell you how fast you can press your buttons compared to the other players who press it lightning quick. We can break ninjas into 3 different categories. One being excellent players who never miss a beat. The second category is players who have awful internet. And last, players who just suck like me. Okay, let's say you do suck. Well, there's another weeb job you can play if you still want to be a weeb. Samurai is the other job for anime weebs. Yes, we have 2 in this game. When you play Samurai, you have to wear that iconic outfit that all samurais have. The fedora and the coat. Now that you have your outfit ready, it's time to be a true samurai. or a creep to other people. Just like their ninja brothers, they have a love for anime, but when you play samurai, you have a new taste in animes. The animes you need to watch now are Boku no Pico, School Days, and Oremo. One other key part to playing samurai that all samurai players must have is to be the best complainers in the world. If they don't get dance partner, you guys will never hear the end of it. We all know the black mages and the dragoons deserve it a little bit more. Yeah, I said it. And ever since the removal of Kaiten, these guys are always crying about how they want the skill back. I hate to break it to you guys, but it's never coming back. And if it does, I'll say I'm wrong, and I'll come back saying sorry in a maid dress. There you go. Promise me on that. I got you. No matter how much you guys want to act like you're cool, you'll never be as cool as ninjas or even reapers. Let's talk about reapers. If you ever want to be dark and edgy or ever want to play Dark Knight as a DPS, this is your job. But unlike Dark Knights, instead of having a dude inside you, you have a weird Reaper avatar monster thing inside you. So, if you're into monsters, Reapers literally ooze with how cool they are, and I honestly love them. They have such a simple playstyle that allows you to focus on how cool your character looks as you twirl and spin around with your scythe. Knowing how to leap in and out of a fight as a Reaper is so important because if you leap into a wall and die, we will make fun of you until you go play Monk instead, where you can't mess it up as easily. By the way, don't be fooled by the fact that you have to play Reaper with dark colors. Instead, go crazy, go colorful, go loud. Just make sure your outfit matches or you look like a fool like I did the other day. Black mages are the biggest assholes in the game, and how can I say such a thing? It's so mean, I know. Well, I can say it confidently because I do play black mage. Everyone has to adjust around them because, well, the second you move, it's a DPS loss, so the best option is for everyone to play around you. Black mages are also the healer's worst nightmare. If they throw their ley line down into the ground on an AoE, they will stand there and hope you heal them. Could we black mages maybe move a bit more and play more safer? Yes. But will we though, in order to sacrifice our big damage numbers? No. But for the babies who like to have mobility over damage, we do have Summoner out there. But when you play a Summoner, you're either the biggest baby in the world or the smartest person in the world. Take your pick. I say biggest baby in the world because this is one of the easiest jobs to play in this game and you're too scared to play anything else. Or you're the smartest person in the world because since this job is not that hard to play, you won't be able to hurt your brain as much while playing. However, there is nothing wrong with playing Summoner to see the cute carbuncle. Look at that little scruggly bungly, that chunky bunky, that little spunky dunky, Hey! Get your fat ass off that stall right now. No one says you're allowed to be on there. Get off right now. Oh, you gonna bark at me, huh? I can bark back. And, red mages. What can I say about red mages? Well, you're in the middle of wanting to be a healer and a damage person, you know? Just pick one. You're so indecisive. You have commitment issues, you know? You couldn't choose between a support, DPS, healer, melee, or magic. I kind of feel bad for red mage players sometimes. Sometimes they'll be hitting their groove, you know, they'll be doing really well, but then when they hit their melee phase during the most worst moments, like the boss having an AoE around them, it feels super bad. Or they have to be the res mage when everyone else is dying around them, and they have to sacrifice all their mana. Yeah, I feel bad for these guys a little bit. I officially dub red mages as the Whoopi of Final Fantasy XIV. You know, you just feel bad for them. However, you guys will instantly gain my respect if you just do this simple thing. Backflip into the goddamn wall. Forget about safety. If you do this, you're one of the hardest players I know. Another job I feel bad for is bards. Even though they're labeled as being musicians of the game and, you know, bards being bards, they're unable to play with instruments mid-battle. Yeah, okay, you can throw in some buffs there that uses a small instrument, but you can't actually play full midis. I even got curious and asked my sister for her input on bard, so this is her opinion, not mine, but she says bard is the 3 Bs. Boring, basic, and bard. With Machinist, you have guns and weapons and a whole ass robot. Dancers, you have like a little mini game with the dance steps and everything, but with bard, there's not really much. It's not a bad job, and there's no really bad job in this game that I can think of, but it's just there. Bard is kind of like the band geek job of the school, whereas you have Machinist, which is like the cool kid job. So it's a job pretty much made for me. Alright, just kidding, I was bullied in school. Machinist players are really just FPS players who were dragged into playing 14 by their friends or boyfriend. Notice how I left out girlfriend, because we all know gamers don't have that. You play Machinist to feel close to home with the FPS games, but in reality, you're not okay. It will never be the same. But it's okay, because you guys still get the cool weapons like a gun, a flamethrower, a bussy blaster, and a whole-ass robot. And to top it all off, Machinist players are always flipping around, shooting their guns. The animations are just so stylish. But if guns don't really suit your taste and you'd rather do something a little bit more, I can't really think of a good transition, but if you want to dance, we got Dancer. Dancer is a job made for people who love attention because legit, you are the person that everyone will have a crush over. Why, you may ask? Is it because your character is so hot or the glam you wear is so nice? No, no, no. We want you for your dance partner. You know how powerful that thing is? Putting a dance partner on somebody is saying to them, hey, I like you, take this extra damage here. If I'm given dance partner by somebody, I'm gonna propose to them right after the fight. And that's the video. Is it all accurate? Of course it is. I'm never wrong because I am Kougaon. Anyways, any single dancer mains out there, please come find me. I'll be waiting at my home until then. No, like please, come find me. I'm really lonely out here.